You just got to push them.
Mike, I know it's been a tough week with loss of your former teammate. How are you doing? How are you handling that?
I'm just happy my family's here. My kids are here. So it kind of really made it easy when you're surrounded by loved ones. But, I would say, bro, I'm blessed. And, we should all just use this time to stay prayed up. Like, keep praying for your loved ones, praying that people find peace. And then also just continue to reach out to our loved ones. It made me reach out to some friends I had back home, former teammates, about, how we took for granted the time we had together. You know what I mean? And life's just so short, so we should really just start appreciating a little bit more and just loving people right and being purposeful with our intent of how we treat people and, how we accept people.
How did you find out the news?
I found out like 7:30 in the morning through a former teammate. And he was like, "Did you hear the news?" I'm like, "What news? Like, is there something leaked?" Like, and he approached me with the news, and I said, "No way! Like, what happened?" It was like, "We don't know." And he told me about 15 minutes later about what happened, and the news came out probably 2 hours later, hour, 2 hours later.
Is this something you guys talk about in the locker room? I think a lot of people just assume that you guys are just football players. You're all people at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something we talk about in the locker room. Like, this is hard conversations. Like, this is something you should talk to seek professional help. I mean, we all know, and we'll be fools to act like what we do isn't enough pressure as it is. We live in a pressured job where you're expected to deliver and you're expected to play a certain way, and when you don't, I mean, it's easy to say, "Oh man, it's so sad," but a lot of people are hard on people. You suck, you stink, we hope you die. I mean, there's a lot of harsh words and harsh things that get said about people, and I mean, as athletes, most of us see it, some of us don't. But we choose to wait till someone passes to realize what we say and what we do, how it can affect people. Now, we all don't understand what happened to 9-4 in the instance, but mental health is important about, being there for each other, whether we're going through hard times or whatever it may be. But, I mean, it's tough. It's a hard job, but, it's hard to be a person sometimes. I think sometimes people evade that you are human. Like, they try to go away from that, and, sometimes you wish things was different because sometimes we wish we was like, because obviously it was Marshawn the person, that wish we could have been there for him, not Marshawn always the uniform. And so I'm just trying to be there for people, more the person side than the football side.
Like, are guys aware?
What kind of guy was Marshawn, and what are you going to just remember about him from the time that you spent?
Marshawn was a guy who loved his anime, loved his video games like anybody else. I mean, to me, he's always showed me nothing but respect from the moment he came into the locker room, the room. He respected me as a player. He respected me as a person. So I have nothing but, high respect for him. If there's anything his family needs, I'll be the first person to help or, offer anything I can do to offer the person. But, I just hope that, he finds his peace and his family finds his peace in the situation.
Micah, do guys in the locker room know where they can go for help? Like, is that a thing that, like, if you guys need mental health help?
I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, there isn't. I mean, there's lines, but I think in life, and I've been extremely blessed, and most of us who are still here, we've been extremely blessed. We had amazing people in our lives to be there for us, and, I've had family who dealt with these same challenges. I mean, we all have. And it's like, how can we be there for them the most impactful way possible? Like, as myself, I've witnessed things that I shouldn't witness about family members, and now we're super close, and I'm there for them as much as I possibly can. So it's just like, how can we do that? Hotlines aside, and people saying, "Oh, you can call this person." No, like, who can you really trust, and who can you really count on to be there for you? Because that's what it's about.
Is it hard as a guy? I mean, men are. We're not supposed to be all touchy-feely, but sometimes maybe it's what everyone needs.
Yeah, but there's one person in this world that you can always count on, and that's God. I mean, that's the person you gotta almost lean on. I mean, people tell us men that we can't be soft, and I mean, you spend your whole life proving yourself to others. I mean, it's for other people to you learn to know your worth, and I think as men is like we're taught not to be as vulnerable. You're right, but you know, there's one person I'm always vulnerable with, and that's God. He knows all the truth and what goes on in my mind and what goes on in this world, and you just gotta find the right balance.
Micah, how are you doing with this? I imagine it can't be awfully shocking.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was extremely shocked. I was extremely hurt by the news. Anyone that I know, I don't want to see anyone go this soon at this age. I mean, or I don't want anyone to go, but that's kind of the reality. And I think the first key of is accepting. And, you know, I kind of accepted, but now I just got to just pray that, you know, I just got to pray, like I said, he finds his peace or, you know, what he was looking for or how he felt in that moment. You know, you really just don't know. So, you know, for me, you know, I have kids. You know, it's like, how do I make sure my kids don't end up in a similar situation? How can I be there for them as much as possible?
How difficult is it to try to get back into focusing and thinking about football while, because obviously it's more than, you know, bigger than just a game. You know, how do you kind of balance that and try to focus on, you know, what is still a big game upcoming?
It's challenging because obviously the person's side in this career, how people look at it, always got to be second. Like, this is a football first, everything else later job. And that's what the fans expect you to be ready. Your coaches expect you to be ready. Even your teammates expect you to be ready. But in reality, to say that we're emotionless and we don't have feelings and, you know, you got to put things to the side all the time, just not realistic. So, you know, I have to find a way to embrace my emotions, embrace everything that I'm feeling for his family, my former teammates. You know, I got former teammates that are devastated. They can't comprehend it. You know, losing a teammate is like a brother. This is someone, like, people don't realize how much we're actually together. You know, like, time spent. You know, so that's the challenge. Is like we're putting away a brother. Like, regardless, like, this NFL is a brotherhood. So it doesn't matter who it is. Like, if you're breaking sweat, breaking blood with someone, whether it's on the opposite team or on the same team, it's a brotherhood. Like, so you know, that like, trying to put that to the side is challenging. But like I said, we got to find a way because there's an expectation comes Monday night.
What do you suppose your feelings would be with him in your heart at the kickoff Monday night against this common opponent for you, the Eagles? How many times you face these guys?
Yeah, if I know 9-4, you're gonna want me to kill him. He gonna want me to kill him because that's how he played. He always played with the intent and passion and played the right way. Mm-hmm. And every time I seen him step on the field, he gave it his all. Even when he was hurt, even when he was dealing with things off the field, he never let it show on the field. So I have to do the same thing.
Hey, Micah, there's not a great conversational segue back to football, but when you look at where your team is at, do you have a good feel for how good you guys really are? And is this a game where you can show what you guys are, show what you're capable of?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a bigger test than the Super Bowl champs. They've done something that we haven't done. It's like, how did we get over that hump? I mean, we're going to have to see them again. Like, this is a team that's going to be a playoff team. It's going to be a team that we could potentially run against in the playoffs. Deep in the playoffs, you just don't know how it goes. But it's like, how can we win the big games? Because that's what it's going to take.
Going back to the tush-push, what specifically about the play bothers you the most?
You know, it's really the pushing and the pulling, like, and the offsides, like people jumping, people leaving before the ball snap. Like, there's no other play where there's this much discrepancy on a play in the NFL. And I mean, people called it, it's been judged wrong. NFL even made mistakes and they own the mistakes for it being not called. So, I mean, I feel like there's only one way to eliminate that. But, I mean, how can we control it come the game? We have to win the first and second down.
Does a regular season meeting against a team that you end up meeting in the playoffs again, does it carry any weight later in the season? And if so, what is significant about that regular season meeting when you do meet in the playoffs?
I mean, it's just like, it's like a respect thing. You kind of know, like, you should be taking us serious. Like, we're earning this on the field, and we don't care who you are, what you've done. We're trying to earn them stripes. We're trying to take them stripes. We're trying to get to where you're going. And that's, like, what makes this league so competitive is, like, there's teams that go to the NFC Championship, Super Bowl. We all got them dreams and aspirations to do that. But it's like, when you come that next year and you're on the top of the mountain, it's like, how do you stay there? Because everyone's coming for it. And we're coming for the top of the mountain. Like, they're coming to Lambeau to show them why they're on top of the mountain, and we're showing them why we're climbing the mountain. So it's going to be a respectful game. It's going to be a very respectful and disrespectful game. So it's going to be a dogfight.
Mike, is there anything that Lane does that you haven't seen, and is there anything that you do that he hasn't seen yet?
No. It's like that's why I say pass rush is like chess. You know every opening, you know every closing, like, but at the same time, it's like, at what time do you make your attack? And how do you set it up? How do you disguise it? Because I know I'm not going to go out there and beat Lane Johnson 10, 20 times. Like, that's unrealistic. But how do I beat him 1 or 2 times that change the game? That's what it's about.
So from that perspective, when you say you're going up against him 20 times, are you trying to win every single time, or are you trying to set up something for later?
Both. I want to win every time, but I understand, like, it's like saying, how do you slow the Eagles down? You don't. We understand they got one of the best backs, one of the best receiver duos, one of the best tight ends, and the best offensive lines in the game. You don't. They're going to get theirs. Their playmakers are going to make plays. But it's like, how do we limit those plays? And when you talk about Lane Johnson and Jordan, it's like, okay, you know they're going to set good. You know they're going to block good. You know they're going to use good hands and fundamentals. And they're going to use some veteran, savvy things to slow you down. But it's like, how do you stay aggressive? How do you stay attacking? And how do you keep overcoming the things that they're going to throw at you? And resiliency is the key. I just know I got to outwork them on Monday.